Hey, Ultimate Fighter, quarterfinals, round one. It's in the books. Good episode. Got to see two fights again. The street fight. Talk about that real quick. And then, of course, they announced the fights. But the street fight, Marlon Sins and Noah Thomas. I don't know if this has been boiling over for a certain amount of time during the season, but yeah, it seemed like these guys had a little animosity towards each other. And these guys go stir crazy. They've been in it. I still think they should have thought better of it. What the hell's going to happen? Dana throws people out of the house for jumping over the fence and going on a date, or not making weight. What do you think is going to happen when you get in a fist fight in the backyard? I thought Dana did a good job handling it. He should have thrown out Allen for instigating it. And then, of course, the two guys that fought, Marlon and Noah, they should have. And he made a good point saying that this is the exact image that we're trying to get away from. Basically back in the early years, and the first year, 2 years, it really was kind of a human cockfight. There was no rules, and that's what they said. Other than no biting and no nut shots, but they're trying. Now that this is sanctioned in most states, and they're trying to get away from that old image. Just because this is now the fastest growing sport in America, and they really want to be recognized as a true sport. Mixed martial artists want to be considered true athletes. Fans like me and you, of course we think they're athletes, and they are. They're great athletes. But the people out there that are still doubting it, that this adds fuel to their fire. Oh, these guys are a bunch of thugs. Shit. Well, don't fucking do that type of shit. And basically, the guys that are on Ultimate Fighter, they're ambassadors of the sport, and I wish they realized that. They are the ones that. This show is a great way to see how these guys interact, and they're supposed to be great sportsmen, and most of them are. You look at the fights, and they hug afterwards, and they have so much respect for each other. And you see that in boxing, but you don't see it to the level that you do in MMA. They go over and hug, but go back to the openweight GPs and stuff that Pride put on. It is said that Liddell's team went in to help prepare Rampage for his next fight, and that was something that I believe it, because they are actually good friends. They still want to throw down with each other, but we really need those ambassadors. We need the Randy Couture's. And I think Joe Lozon could be that. And you could be like that. He's maybe not as charismatic as some guys out there, but he seems very intelligent from the blogs he writes. He's got a great motor. He loves to do this, and he's one of those guys that he does this out of love, because he's mentioned that he's a computer nerd, and that he could have a job working on computers in an IT department, but this is what he loves, and this is what he wants to do. So we need fighters like that. But all right, on to the show. Okay, fights were announced. Joe versus Cole tonight. Gray versus Brandon. Corey versus Nate. Matt versus Manny. Okay, awesome fights. Nate, you're a little bit out of line saying that nobody wants to fight you or Corey. Everybody wants to fight Corey. You got lucky that you were considered the top seed. That's how you got Corey, because Corey's considered the bottom seed. And you need to be, bless your heart that happened, because it puts you into the semifinals. Anything can happen, but it'd be a lucky shot if Corey beats you, Nate. So, first up was Joe versus Cole. As soon as the fights were announced, I basically said, I go, Joe will win that fight. So I did make that prediction. I'm also going to say Gray beats Brandon, Nate beats Corey, Matt beats Manny. Now, Matt and Manny, wow. That is going to be an awesome fight. That has all the potential of being the fight of the first season. So, looking forward to that one. Unfortunately, it's the fourth one, so we've got to wait 4 weeks, or 3 more weeks, or whatever. But The fight, I was surprised when Cole knocked him down right off the bat. Almost had that choke. It was really close. I thought it was a little on the chin, but other than that, he had it pretty deep. And from BJ saying it was deep, and from Joe saying it was deep, and Cole, I'll believe them. So yeah, no, hats off to you, Cole. You fought a great fight. Now, there was 2 illegal blows. One obviously was more vicious than the other, but Cole did kick Joe in the head while they were down. It was in Cole's guard and kicked him right in the face. But it wasn't that bad. Now the elbow was pretty bad, but it wasn't intentional. Gave him all. He said, "Take your time recovering." And he said, when a ref says that to you, take your fucking time. Just recover from it. I know nobody wants to win by a disqualification, but take your time, recover. And if it would have went to the judges' scorecards or whatever, Joe would have won the fight still, but because he won that first round, in my opinion, and he was winning the second round when this happened. But take your time, recover, take the full 5 minutes, Renzo Gracie style, and then either get back in it or say I can't continue. Nobody will consider you a pussy. But he said after 2 minutes or so, yeah, I'm ready to go. And Joe was smart, went in for the kill. What was he going to do? And Cole adapted the rarely feared curl up in a ball defense. Not much offense out of that. That's sort of your only hope is that they punch themselves out. When you do that, he was kind of fetus position, covering the sides of his face, taking punishment. So good stoppage. I wish the fight would have been. I don't like it when that kind of stuff happens, but it happens. It's MMA. Those guys are going at it. They're moving around. They're squirming around. They're in the passion. Sometimes it slips. But Joe advances, first guy to the semifinals, in impressive fashion. Even before the illegal blows, awesome fashion. He really fought really well, and he showed that he can be on the ground with pretty much anybody. I mean, Nate will once again have him on the ground a little bit, but I think his explosiveness and stuff makes it a very tough match for Nate. So, yeah, as we move on, looks like there's going to be a little discrepancy or a little problem in Team Pulver next week. Brandon's not liking Jens' coaching. Don't think it's going to matter that much because I think he's going to lose. But even if he does end up switching teams, I would just bring it back to a 5-7 because there's only 4 Team Penn members left. Rob Emerson's the only eliminated fighter that's still around. So yeah, but going camping. So my review vid for UFC 71 probably won't be up till Monday night at the earliest. Tuesday's probably more likely, and then I might do the aftermath vid at the same time. Might just do 2 vids, just bam bam. So, alright, well, I'm out. Night train. Shockers. Have a good weekend.